The moment her clothes tore, the entire alien empire stopped breathing. Not metaphorically. The living palace itself froze as if terrified. And in that single fragile second, before anyone could react, something ancient, something waiting beyond the stars, almost found her. No one moved. No one spoke. Except the human. Kelrun had been warned about many things. Do not touch the walls. Do not interrupt the palace. Do not stand too close to royalty. No one had warned him what to do if reality itself started to break. Which, in his defense, felt like an important omission. He stood at the edge of the ceremonial chamber, trying very hard to look like he belonged there. He didn't. Everything about the place reminded him of that. The walls breathed softly. Light flowed like liquid through living veins. The air itself carried a quiet awareness, like it was listening. And at the center of it all stood the royal family. Perfect. Still. Untouchable. Kel shifted his weight slightly. Don't mess this up, he whispered under his breath. The floor pulsed beneath him. That felt like disagreement. The ceremony began without a signal. One moment there was silence. The next, the entire chamber moved. Not physically, but something deeper. Energy flowed. The palace responded to the royals as if they were extensions of it. Light bent toward them. Structures curved subtly, aligning with their presence. Kel frowned. Yeah, definitely above my pay grade. Then he saw her. Princess Lyra. She stood slightly behind the others. Smaller. Quieter. Almost like she was trying to disappear inside her own world. Her eyes stayed down. Her hands were clasped tightly. Her entire posture felt restrained, like she was holding something back. Kel didn't know why, but he couldn't stop noticing her. Then something went wrong. It started small. A flicker. A distortion in the ceiling above. Kel's instincts kicked in instantly. That's not stable. The living structure above twisted slightly, its patterns uneven. His stomach dropped. That was his fault. Whatever he had fixed earlier had reached here. And now, under pressure, it failed. The ceiling tore open. Not exploded. Not collapsed. It unfolded. Like something alive, ripping itself apart. Glowing fragments rained down. The ceremony froze. And in that frozen moment, Lyra moved. She stepped back quickly, and her dress caught. A single strand of living fabric snagged against the structure. For one fragile second it held. Then, it tore. The sound was soft, but what followed was not. The air changed. Kel felt it instantly. Pressure. Not physical. Something deeper. Something watching. Lyra froze. And then, she began to glow. At first it was faint, a soft light beneath her skin. But it spread. Slow. Rhythmic. Beautiful. Terrifying. Patterns formed across her body. Intricate, precise, like a signal being written in light. Kel didn't understand it. But everyone else did. And their reaction said everything. No one moved. No one even breathed. Because they were afraid. Lyra's expression wasn't embarrassment. It wasn't panic. It was worse. It was fear of something far away. Something that could see her. Something that shouldn't. Kel didn't think. He didn't analyze. He didn't calculate outcomes. He moved. Fast. Instinctively. Human. He stepped in front of her and pulled her into him, wrapping his body around hers, shielding her completely, blocking the light. This is happening, he muttered, because his brain had clearly stopped cooperating. The glow hit his back, and something changed. The light flickered. The pattern broke. Not stopped. Interrupted. Like static in a perfect signal. Lyra gasped softly. The glow weakened. Around them, the invisible pressure shifted. Something lost its focus. Kel tightened his hold slightly. Okay, yeah, we're not doing that, he whispered. He didn't know what that was. He just knew it was bad. Very bad. For a moment, the entire universe seemed to hesitate. And far beyond the palace, something ancient stirred. It had almost heard, almost seen, almost found. But now, there was interference. The chamber remained frozen. The royals watched. The guards didn't move. No one dared interrupt what had just happened. Because no one understood it. except for one terrifying truth. The human had just done something impossible. Lyra's light faded slowly beneath his arms. Her breathing steadied. The pattern gone. Broken. Changed. Kel finally exhaled. Okay, good. I think we fixed it, he whispered. He paused. We fixed it, right? No one answered. Then the guards moved. Not aggressively. Not violently. But with purpose. They approached slowly. Carefully. Like they weren't sure what he was anymore. Kel released Lyra gently. She didn't step away immediately. For a brief moment, she stayed close. Looking at him. Really looking at him. Not with fear. But with something else. Something new. Then she stepped back. And the distance returned. Kelren, one of the elders said quietly. His voice carried weight. You interfered. Kel nodded. Yeah, I'm getting that impression. A pause. You disrupted the signal. Kel blinked. That part was on purpose. Another pause. Longer this time. He doesn't understand, another voice said. Kel raised a hand slightly. That is extremely correct. The elder studied him. Deeply. Carefully. Like trying to understand something that didn't follow rules. You blocked it with your body. Kel shrugged slightly. I block things. It's kind of my skill set. Silence. Then, something shifted in the room. Not tension. Recognition. For the first time, the aliens weren't looking at him like a mistake. They were looking at him like a problem. Or worse. A variable. You may leave, the elder said finally. Kel blinked. That's it. No answer. Cool. I'll take it. As he turned to go, he felt it again. That faint pressure. But weaker now. Uncertain. Like something searching and failing. And behind him, Lyra watched. Her hands trembling slightly. Her voice barely a whisper. You changed it. Kel paused. Glanced back. Yeah. Her eyes met his. And for the first time, there was no fear in them. Only realization. You were not supposed to be able to do that. Kel scratched the back of his neck. Yeah, I get that a lot. The palace pulsed softly around them. Not confused this time. Not reactive. Watching. Learning. And far beyond the stars. Something ancient adjusted its course. Not toward certainty, but toward a question. What was the human? The palace had stopped playing games. No shifting corridors. No curious walls. No quiet, living humor. Now it watched. And Kel could feel it. By the fourth day, even the air felt different. He stood alone in a corridor that hadn't changed for hours. That alone was unsettling. I miss when you tried to confuse me, he muttered. The wall beside him gave a slow, delayed pulse. Yeah, okay. Still dramatic. But beneath the sarcasm, something was wrong. The palace wasn't reacting anymore. It was waiting. Kel rubbed the back of his neck and exhaled slowly. All right, let's review, he whispered. Step 1. I broke a royal ceremony. Step 2. I accidentally hugged a glowing alien princess. Step 3. I may have interrupted something ancient and terrible. He paused. Solid progress. The floor didn't respond. That worried him more than anything. A low vibration rolled through the corridor. Not loud. Not violent. But heavy. Like something far away moving. Kel froze. Yeah, that's new. The palace lights dimmed slightly. Not darkness. Focus. Direction. It was guiding him. Right. Kel nodded slowly. Follow the haunted building. He started walking. Fast. The path opened before him, leading toward a place he now recognized. The quiet garden. Lyra was already there. Standing. Waiting. You feel it too? Kel asked. She nodded once. Her posture was tense, her gaze fixed upward as if she could see through layers of the palace. It is noticed, she said softly. Kel exhaled. Of course it has. Things always notice things at the worst possible time. He stepped beside her. So, how bad are we talking? Lyra hesitated. Then, it is searching again. The vibration deepened. The glowing streams in the garden shifted direction, bending slightly, like gravity itself was pulling differently. Kel frowned. That's not normal. No.
Great.
Just checking. He paced once, thinking fast. Okay, so, it almost found you before. Yes. And the only reason it didn't. She looked at him. Was you. Kel nodded slowly.
Right.
No pressure. Lyra raised her hand slightly. The faint light returned beneath her skin.
Controlled this time.
But still there. Still calling. Kel felt the air tighten immediately. The vibration responded. Stronger. Closer. Yeah, no, we're not doing that again, he said quickly. He stepped in front of her. Not touching this time. Just close enough. Blocking. Interrupting. The effect was instant. The light flickered. The pressure shifted. The invisible pull weakened. Lyra's eyes widened. You see it, she whispered. Kel nodded.
Yeah.
That's my thing now, apparently. He tilted his head slightly, focusing. Wait. He stepped a little to the left. The light warped. The vibration stuttered. He stepped back. It stabilized.
Kel blinked.
Oh. He looked at her. Then at the space between them. Then back again. I'm not just blocking it, he said slowly. I'm messing with it. Lyra studied him carefully. You interfere with the pattern. Kel smiled faintly. Interfere is a polite word. I prefer ruin. The vibration pulsed again, stronger this time. The garden lights flickered violently. The streams of glowing liquid reversed direction entirely. Kel's expression shifted. Okay, it doesn't like that. No, Lyra said quietly. It is adapting. Kel froze. Then laughed softly. Of course it is. Why wouldn't it be learning? He ran a hand through his hair. All right, new plan. Lyra watched him. You have one. Not a good one, he admitted. But it's mine. He stepped closer again. Closer than before. Their distance now almost nothing. If it wants a clean signal, Kel said, thinking out loud. We don't give it one. Lyra tilted her head. You mean? We make it worse, he said simply. The palace around them pulsed. Not in confusion. In attention. Kel positioned himself carefully. Not random this time.
Precise.
Watching the rhythm of the light beneath her skin. Timing his movement. Okay, he muttered. Let's try something stupid. The light pulsed. And Kel moved. Not blocking. Interrupting. At exact moments. Breaking the rhythm. The effect was immediate. The glow didn't just weaken. It distorted. Lyra inhaled sharply. It is changing. Kel grinned slightly.
Yeah.
That's the idea. The vibration in the air faltered. For a brief second, it stopped getting closer. Both of them froze. Did we just? Kel started. Yes, Lyra whispered. It hesitated. Kel let out a slow breath. Okay, that's something. But then, the vibration returned. Sharper. Focused. The garden dimmed. The palace tightened around them. It is learning faster, Lyra said. Kel nodded. Yeah, I was afraid of that. He stepped back slightly, thinking.
Fast.
If it learns the pattern, he muttered. It finds you, Lyra finished. Silence. Heavy. Real. Kel looked at her. Really looked this time. Not just curious. Not just confused. Determined. Then we don't let it learn, he said. Lyra's expression didn't change. That is not possible. Kel smiled faintly. Yet people say that a lot. The vibrations surged again. Closer now. More precise. Lyra's light flared. Stronger than before. Kel reacted instantly. He moved. Perfect timing. Blocking. Shifting. Braking. The signal warped violently. The air cracked with pressure. And then, something new happened. The pattern didn't just break. It contradicted itself. Lyra gasped. It cannot resolve it. Kel stared. Good. The vibration faltered. Not weakening. Confused. For the first time, it didn't know what to do. Kel stepped closer again. Right in front of her. Steady now. Focused. Yeah, he said quietly. Try figuring that out. The palace pulsed. Not afraid. Not tense. Impressed. But far beyond the stars. Something ancient shifted again. Closer than before. More aware. More interested. It had stopped searching blindly.
Now.
It was thinking. And for the first time, it wasn't just looking for Lyra. It was looking for him. Lyra felt it instantly. Her expression changed. Fear returning, but different now. It has changed, she whispered. Kel didn't look away from the invisible pressure ahead. Yeah, he said quietly. I figured. She stepped closer behind him. Kel. He didn't respond. It is no longer trying to find me. That made him pause. Just for a second. Then what is it doing? He asked. Lyra's voice dropped. Barely audible. It is trying to understand you. The vibration sharpened. Focused.
Locked.
Kel swallowed slowly. Then, despite everything, he smiled. Well, he muttered, that's going to be a problem. The air tightened. The signal surged again, stronger than ever before. And this time, it didn't hesitate. The moment it focused on him, everything changed. Not the palace. Not Lyra. Not even the signal. The change happened somewhere far beyond sight, where something ancient finally understood that the human was not noise. He was the disruption. The pressure in the air snapped tight. No longer searching. No longer confused. It had made a decision.
Kel felt it.
Deep in his chest. Like gravity had chosen him. Okay, he whispered, steadying himself. Now it's personal. The chamber darkened. Not fully, but enough that the light beneath Lyra's skin became the brightest thing in the room. Only now, it wasn't wild. It wasn't afraid. It moved with control. With purpose. Lyra stepped beside him. Not behind him this time. Beside him. You cannot stop this, she said quietly. Kel nodded. I know. It has chosen a new pattern. Yeah. Her eyes met his. You. The vibration surged. Sharper.
Faster.
More precise than ever before. Kel exhaled slowly. All right, then we don't stop it. Lyra frowned slightly.
What?
Kel looked forward. Focused. Thinking in a way he never had before. Not like an engineer fixing a system, but like a human refusing to lose. We break it again, he said. But better. The projections around them flickered to life. Distorted space. Shifting waves. Something vast circling. Watching. Learning. It is adapting to consistency, one of the elders said. Kel nodded. Then we don't give it consistency. Lyra's light pulsed. Stronger now. Matching the pressure building in the room. It will resolve the signal, she warned.
Kel shook his head.
Only if we let it make sense. The vibration spiked. The chamber trembled. The presence beyond the stars pressed closer. Kel stepped forward. Closer to Lyra than ever before. Their shoulders nearly touching. Follow me, he said quietly. The light surged, and Kel moved. Not random. Not instinct alone. Precise. He shifted at exact moments, interrupting the signal before it could stabilize. Not blocking it, bending it. Lyra reacted instantly, matching him, adjusting. Her power flowed, and his presence twisted it. The result was chaos, but controlled chaos. The signal didn't just break. It fractured into contradictions. The projection exploded with distortion. Patterns overlapping.
Canceling.
Rewriting. It is destabilizing, someone shouted. Kel didn't stop. Didn't hesitate. Good, he muttered. Let it. The pressure pushed harder. More focused. Trying to force resolution. Kel stepped again. Perfect timing.
Break. Shift.
Interrupt. Lyra followed. Seamless now. Together. They weren't reacting anymore. They were controlling the outcome. The signal surged one last time.
Desperate.
Searching for something stable. Something real. And found nothing. The pattern collapsed. Not destroyed. Not erased. Invalid. The projection flickered violently. Then,
stopped.
Silence. Real silence. Kel blinked. Did we just confuse something that lives in space? No one answered. Because no one could. The pressure vanished. Not slowly. Not fading.
Gone.
Like something had reached the edge of understanding. And found nothing there. Lyra's light dimmed completely. Her body relaxed for the first time since it began. It cannot follow, she whispered. Kel let out a long breath. Yeah, I was hoping for that. The palace pulsed.
Soft. Warm.
Alive again. Not tense. Not watching. Relieved. The elders stepped forward slowly. Their expressions changed. Not confusion. Not authority. Respect. You altered the signal, one of them said. Kel scratched his head. Technically, we broke it. No, the elder said. You made it impossible.
Kel paused.
That sounds better. Lyra looked at him.
Closer now.
No fear. No hesitation. You did what no species has ever done, she said. Kel shrugged lightly. Yeah, well, humans are good at messing things up. She shook her head.
No.
Her voice was softer now.
Clear. Certain.
You are good at surviving what should not be survived. Kel smiled faintly.
Yeah.
That too. A quiet moment passed between them. Not awkward. Not uncertain.
Real.
The palace shifted gently around them. Not rearranging. Not testing. Welcoming. Kel looked around. Then back at her. So, what happens now? Lyra tilted her head slightly. Thinking. For the first time, she said slowly, there is no signal. Kel nodded. That sounds like freedom. She stepped closer. Close enough that there was no distance left to close. Yes, she said. Kel hesitated, then rubbed the back of his neck. So, hypothetically, he began, if someone saved your entire civilization by confusing an ancient cosmic threat, Lyra blinked. Would they get, I don't know, a reward? A reward, she asked. Yeah, Kel said. Something official. He gestured vaguely. Like a plaque. Or a title. Or free food. For a second, she didn't react. Then, she smiled. A real smile. Not small. Not hidden.
Bright.
You will receive something better, she said. Kel raised an eyebrow. Oh. Lyra stepped even closer. Her voice lowered slightly. You will stay. Kel blinked. Stay? With me, she said. The palace pulsed softly. Almost approving. Kel looked at her. Really looked. Then smiled. Yeah, he said quietly. I think I can do that. Far beyond the stars. The ancient presence drifted. Not defeated. Not destroyed.
But changed.
It had encountered something it could not solve. Something unpredictable. Something human. And for the first time, it chose to leave. Not out of fear, but because it finally understood one thing. Some signals are not meant to be decoded.